You're listening to Profit Without Worry, episode 146. Email marketing can be a component of your marketing strategy, but having a big list doesn't automatically translate into making sales. Today, we're discussing everything you need to know about list size, conversion rates, and more. Hey there, I'm Michelle Evans, and this is the show where coaches, experts, and business owners like us get real about what it takes to create a profitable online business. I can tell you from experience that nonstop hustle plus random acts of marketing do not equal success. So how do we attract a steady flow of clients and sales without all the hustle? This is the Profit Without Worry podcast. Hey there, welcome back, and thanks for tuning in. All right, is it just me, or are you having a hard time with the fact that we're already in September? 2020 is definitely a strange year that, for me, feels like it's been 10 years long, and that it's also flying by really fast. I don't know, it's a weird thing. How about you? And it's back to school season here. My kids go back on Wednesday, the 2nd of September, and it's just crazy. We're jumping into a new year, totally virtual, and trying to figure out how we're gonna manage 5 people at home all the rest of the year, pretty much. Anyway, I hope you're doing better than we are in the craziness of what's going on. All right, and have you checked out the brand new free resource created for you? It's a tell-all article that I wrote called The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. And in it, I name names. I show proof of how the syndicate shaped the online marketing industry, and I also show you why those pesky proven formulas are no longer working. I'm here to tell you that it's not you. It is the system. I'm going to link to it, to that article in today's show notes, which you can find at profitwithoutworry.com/episode-146, or you can go to profitwithoutworry.com/article. All right, let's dive into today's show. A couple weeks back, I received an invite from a virtual event organizer. They're putting on an event in October, and this person wanted to know if I wanted to be a part of it. And I don't know if you've ever seen these events or if you've ever been solicited to be a part of them, but it's the type of event where they have 15, 20, sometimes more speakers on various topics around an all-up idea or topic category. Well, this organizer reached out to me because she wanted me to come on and talk about Profit Without Worry. But a couple things caught my eye about her pitch. First, they wanted people who had email lists of at least 10,000 people or more. And second, they not only wanted my time and my list, but they wanted $2,500 in money to promote this event. No. First off, I'm not giving anyone money to promote their own event where I also have to show up and provide content free of charge, and I can't sell anything, and I can't solicit anything, and I have no say in how they use that money to promote. Yeah, not happening. Second, why the 10,000 people on your email list? I was curious, so I reached back out and asked for clarification on that point. Here's what the organizer said. We only want, quote, we only want serious online influencers in our event. If you don't have at least 10,000 subscribers, we know that you're not serious or successful, so we don't want you connected to the event, unquote. Whew, okay, well, let's break this down because I'm super tired of hearing people tout email subscribers as some sort of metric of success. Let me tell you that I have worked with clients who make multiple 6 figures who have 0 email lists because that is just not how they work. And on the other hand, I've worked with people who have 20,000, 40,000. One of my clients has over 300,000 email subscribers, and not that person specifically, but many people who have multiple thousands of people on their email list are basically almost running a nonprofit because they never really make any money from their list. I also know people who've purchased email lists. Okay, let me just say, don't do it. You should never, ever, 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 ever buy an email list. But people do pad their numbers that way. And I know people who never delete anyone off their list, even after those people have completely unsubscribed, people who haven't opened an email from them in, 3 or more years, and they just inflate their subscriber count a ton. So let's set a couple things straight here. First, do you need an email list? Maybe. It kind of depends on what you sell and how you sell to people. I have consultant clients who sell to CEOs, CFOs, CTOs, CMOs, the whole C-suite, right? And other people in very senior management at big companies. And you'd better believe these people are not sending standard emails to these guys. Their communications are strictly one-on-one, or at least just them to a couple people within a company. And they manage it through a CRM system, through personal connections, and lots of different ways, kind of depending on how they sell. But there's no email blast coming from these people. And they'd probably never, ever, ever tell you how many people are on their list. But usually they have something called account-based marketing, where they have target companies that they're trying to get. And they have between 20 to maybe like 100 target companies that they're working. And this is just roll up your sleeves, one-on-one outreach. And these people make a lot of money. In fact, one of my former clients, we're still friends, but she has built a business. She sells to CTOs, so Chief Technology Officers. And when she sells something, she gets 5 years of recurring revenue at least. That's assuming they don't renew. And many of her clients renew. So something she sold 4 years ago, she's still getting paid for right now. And she treats her clients like gold. She will bend over backwards for them, but she doesn't need a ton of clients. She needs a handful, and she has monthly recurring revenues of well over $100,000. So it just depends on what your business is. And second, just because you've got 10,000 people or more on your email list doesn't mean you're making money at all. A few years back, I began working with a smaller company. It's a good sized company, but I think they only had maybe like 14 or 15 full-time employees, and they had over 40,000 people on their email list. Every time they'd upload a new YouTube video, their open rates were through the roof. I'm talking like 65 to 70% open rates on the emails they sent out to over 40,000 people. I actually couldn't believe it the first time I saw their numbers. I was like, wait, are you just sending to a small subsegment of this? And we dove into it, and it was like, no. So that's like 26,000 people or more reading each of their YouTube, hey, we have a new, video on YouTube. Why don't you check it out? Kind of email. And the click-through rates were super high as well. I mean, they had just email rates that most people can only dream of. But whenever they wanted to sell a product, a program, or a service, because they had in-person small group programs, they had certification programs, they had one-on-one programs, and they had digital products and books and all sorts of stuff. Whenever they tried to sell something, which wasn't that often, maybe once every 15 or 20 emails, their email rates fell off a cliff. They'd go from around 26,000 people opening the email to maybe 400 people. And of those 400, hardly anyone clicked through and very, very few people bought. Why? Because if you looked at it from the outside, they had an amazing community of freebie lovers. And they trained their community that as a business, they'd send out so many freebies that their email subscribers didn't ever need to buy. So they didn't. They also didn't really know how to integrate sales into their overall business process, but that's a completely different story. Bottom line, whenever I hear someone bragging about or demanding a certain size email list, I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical about the quality of the list. I'm skeptical if they have a list of buyers or simply a list of names. But most of all, I'm skeptical about their approach to business, because a Profit Without Worry business isn't about attracting every email possible so that you can strut around bragging about the size of your list. Instead, it's about attracting potential buyers. It's about serving them in a way that helps them and builds your business. It's about treating each email as a human being and not just a throwaway commodity. Listen, I know about this firsthand. Back in 2013, I really bought into this whole idea that your money is in your email list. And at that time, building an email list was all about getting featured in prominent blogs. I was doing a lot of career coaching then, so one of my pitches was to Brazen Careerist. And when my post was featured there, I went from less than 100 people on my email list to over 4,000 in a matter of just 2 or 3 weeks. And I thought to myself, score! Look how easy this is. Now all I need to do is just make some offers and I'll have money coming in. In fact, the person that I took that blogging course from promised that if I followed the system that he created, that I would be making at least $1 for every name on my list. So theoretically, I should have been making $4,000 a month for every name, right? Guess what? That did not happen, not even close, not at all. I never took the time to understand what my email audience wanted. I pretty much treated them like my paying clients who were mostly Microsoft employees. I was talking about things important at Microsoft and to, the people that I interacted with there, but not really anywhere else. And also, I never thought through the sequence of what needs to happen after this Brazen Careerist person opts in for my freebie. As a result, I got about 4,000 names or so, but I never made one single sale to anybody that came from that article. Not one. And it wasn't for lack of trying. It was because I was talking about things these people just didn't care about. They weren't interested in. So they completely tuned me out. And it was because I counted my money before I served. It was because I treated these people like a commodity. I've never made that mistake again because it really cost me a lot of time, a lot of money. Because, when you have 4,000 people on your email list, your email system costs a lot of money. And I went from having to spend nothing because I only had less than 100 people on my list to having to spend a lot each month. And I also had a lot of feelings of failure since my business wasn't growing like I thought it should. It wasn't as easy. The money wasn't just rolling in. So how do you know if you've got an email list that will grow your business and not just a bunch of freebie hunters? Well, I've got a challenge for you. I want you to pay attention to every company and online business person you get an email from. How do those emails make you feel? Do you feel like they're trying to help you and support your goals? Or do you feel like they're either sending you a ton of information with no action or just trying to push, sell, and sell some more? Before over-investing and overemphasizing your email growth, why don't you focus on what you've got now? Get to know them. Ask them questions. Get insights into who they are. Even if you only have 10 or 20 people on your list, it is amazing when you know how to interact with your audience. And again, even if it's a very small audience, because once you start really engaging them with meaningful marketing and content and offers that really help them, you're going to be thrilled to see your profitable email list growing, because people will share you. They'll share their work with you. And before you know it, you'll have a great community built on people who actually want to buy from you because they know that you get them, you understand them, you know what they need, and you're serving them. And this doesn't happen with silly tricks to magically explode your email growth. It starts with rolling up your sleeves and really getting to know your potential buyers. And also being honest, how many people do you really need on your email list? All right, I'd love to hear from you. What are you doing to get to know your audience and what they want from you? Hit me up on social media or simply email me, michelle@michellelevans.com. And as you were listening to this, did you think of someone who could use these insights about creating profit without worry in their business? If you can think of someone who could use this, would you please do both of us a big favor and share this episode with them? It's really easy to do from whatever podcasting app you're listening on, or simply share the URL for today's show at profitwithoutworry.com/episode-146, and your friend can listen right there. And don't forget to go read the article, The Real Reason Proven Marketing Formulas Have Stopped Working. You can get that at today's show notes or profitwithoutworry.com/article so that you can see what it takes to create a movement with your marketing. All right, I hope you have a really amazing week. And if it's a back to school week for you, like it is for me, good luck. And I'll see you back here next week, same time, same place, on another great episode of Profit Without Worry. See you then.